Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Fallout Show episode 51, Catch 22. I am Rick McVick, and with us tonight is Shaline.
You're wearing them!
I don't even remember what the whole joke was about.
So happy. It was been the Fallout first, and the
Oh,
Thurston
right.
Howell and Fallout first and our trust fund Adams.
Which I did get today, by the way.
For our audio folks, Rick is wearing the top hat and monocle that I mailed him.
It came with a cane.
I did not realize that it would come with a cane, and I think that's fantastic. So you are full-on Monopoly man. It's
That is
magnificent.
true. This cane is
capitalism.
I can't think of any Liberty Prime quotes to save my life right now, but yes, I do have a cane as well. But anyway,
Yes.
there's only two of us tonight because Vendor is on vacation, and we wish him all the relaxations in the world, and he should be back with us shortly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right, tonight's show, it's a biggin, but before we get into it, you can share us on your social medias. You can send us some emails. You can like, subscribe, and retweet our thingamabobs, and tell your friends about us and host us here on Twitch, etc., etc. Tonight's show, we have some news. The news segment's actually rather short because of our giant Patch 22 discussion. We're going to talk about the Patch 22 after the news, and then we're going to talk about some of our gameplay and our experiences as well with again, Patch 22. And then we're going to get... Do we have emails?
We do. We have 2 emails.
Okay. Wonderful. Oh, wait. I got to have the pinky out. I don't know how to do this.
Pinky out. Canada mug. Mm-hmm. Lovely.
There we go. I love this Canada mug. It's
Yes,
nice.
you're the aristocracy.
Yeah. It's always sorry whenever it's out of coffee.
Oh!
But anyway, but before we get into any of this show, we have some 5-star reviewer shoutouts. Take it away, Shaline.
Yes, thank you very much to the folks who left us 5-star reviews this time. We've got one from Vosselsa, and she says, if you need a podcast where you feel like you're sitting around with your best friends talking about Fallout, this is the one for you. Love listening in and laughing with these guys. Great show.
Aww.
Yes, and Sullivan for SRACNN. How do you what do you think? Sraken.
I don't know.
Sraken. Sullivan 7 Sraken says, Dear Rick, Vendertron, and Shaline, I am fairly new to the Fallout family. I was watching some videos and came across Fallout and decided it looked like a game I would like to play. So I got Fallout 3 and New Vegas and have been playing them off and on for the last couple of years. So I started watching YouTube videos about Fallout to learn more about the franchise. That led me to search for podcasts, and that's when I came across yours. I love the chemistry that you all have together, and you've given me many hours of entertainment during the workday and my commute to and from. Keep up the good work, and I look forward to many, many more hours of your shows. See you in the wasteland. Thank you both so much for those lovely reviews.
Yes.
And if you have not left us a 5-star review on iTunes, we would appreciate it if you did. That really helps us with searchability. It helps us be more visible so that new people like Sullivan can find our podcast.
Very much so. And also, we have a new person in the Discord.
Yes, we have Bitrash Riot back from the corner of shame.
Yes.
I feel like there might be some kind of issue here because Bitrash has come back from the corner of shame many times, but I don't ever see him dropping profanities. So I don't know.
Maybe he leaves and comes back. I don't know, but
maybe so. Maybe
anyway.
so. But anyways, howdy, Bitrash. We're glad to see you.
Good to see you back. Yeah, this thing is oh, there it goes. It's impossible to keep in. And so,
yes.
Anyway, yeah, I did get my atoms today. I opened up Fallout, and I'm like, ooh, 3,500 atoms. What's in the atom shop? Nothing.
Yes, it is a dry week in the atom shop.
Playback Wolf, Playback Wolf. I don't get.
PL Black Wolf.
Mr. Black Wolf in the chat says if he was wearing a suit, it would make it show much better. If it was a tuxedo T-shirt,
I was just about to say.
More correct.
We have the same sense of humor. It's terribly sad.
But hey, what's new around here? What happened in the world of Fallout, Shaline?
Well, Rick, for the news segment this week, we are going to just dive inside the vault for this
Ooh.
most recent update, the September 2020 updates. And we want to talk about everything in this update. They talk a bit about the patch and the updates to the roadmap and community calendar. And
Mhm.
so let's go into the details of this. So, of course, One Wasteland patch 22 is now live. So
Mm.
it's a major, major, huge update for Fallout
Major
76.
huge?
Majorly huge, hugely major,
Major huge.
mejor, grande. Yes, it's a very big update. Yes, my Spanish speaking ancestors are rolling in their graves at my terrible pronunciation.
Evie keeps
Um,
real quick. My daughter keeps asking me like how to say certain words in Spanish. Me, right? Like,
yes.
Daddy, how do you say refrigerator in Spanish? I say refrigeratoro. Like that's always what I
No,
do. And she
and
goes,
it's so
no.
easy, Rick.
But she looks at me and she goes, no. Like she knows it's not right. She doesn't know what it is, but she knows it's not right.
I'm pretty sure it's just like refrigerador. Like
I don't know.
I'm not 100% because it's been a long time since high school Spanish, but I'm pretty sure it's just like
Yeah,
refrigerador.
I'm always
Yeah.
I just add an O onto whatever it is, and she just like she has stopped
Oh
since
my
asking me.
gosh. Yes. Look it up. Teach your kids some Spanish.
My job's a
Look at
teacher's
it.
job. No,
Google.
I know, I
Google
know.
it.
I
Google
should,
it
I
or
should.
send her to me.
I think
Um,
I think I ended up doing
I
that on
will
a few,
Google
but
it.
anyway. I
Yes.
did it for the jokes, the memes.
Your poor daughter, though. She's going to be out there. Like, my dad used to do that to me, too. My dad grew up speaking Spanish. You know, he's like native Spanish speaker.
Yeah.
And we would ask him, like, Dad, how do you say this in Spanish? And he would tell us, like, that car was caro and truck was trucka. And, like,
Look, I'm teaching
he would
her.
not teach us Spanish. I regret it so much that he never taught us Spanish, but he just wanted to be able to talk to my uncles without me knowing what he was saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think a more important life skill than being bilingual is learning how to spot and understand bull crap.
You know
That is,
what?
yep. So there you go.
I'm not sure that I can really argue with that. As important and beneficial as being bilingual is, mm,
I troll
you're
my
teaching your kid to
yep.
see through
I troll my kid
the
so when she gets
BS.
older, she can be like, I don't think that's right.
Yes,
Something
she
in my
can
gut.
identify a liar. Yes, that is funny. Oh
Anyway,
gosh, this is a Fallout podcast. Uh,
yeah, not a yeah.
linguistics and child rearing, but that's okay. So where were we? One Wasteland
Yes.
update. This, of course, allows creature difficulty to dynamically adjust to suit each level player at any different level simultaneously.
Yep.
The purpose is to let you play with your friends no matter what update everyone is.
Mhm.
So if I'm a higher level character and Rick wants to roll a new tune, we can go together and he can actually contribute and feel like he's helping in the fights, because the enemy that's a level 100 for me is going to be a 14 for him.
Yep.
So it's a rebalance, and there is also a good deal of damage rebalance in One Wasteland. And we will discuss that more in depth later on in the show. We have a whole segment devoted to that.
Yep.
The update also added legendary perks once you've reached level 50, and daily ops, which is a new type of event. It's a repeatable mission, and you can do those alone or as a team. I highly recommend teams. They're
Yeah.
pretty tough. They're pretty brutal. And also, Fallout 76's Season 2 Armor Ace kicked off with this update. And we will be talking about that more in depth as well. So
Mhm.
we'll definitely be covering those patch notes. They've also, in addition to launching this new season, this big patch 22, Bethesda has made some updates to the 2020 roadmap and the community calendar. They were planning for the Steel Dawn questline to arrive in the fall, followed by Fractured Steel in the winter, the next section of the Brotherhood storyline. But they've decided that they want the Brotherhood's return to be a larger moment for the game. So they've combined Steel Dawn and Fractured Steel into one update. So those will arrive at the same time. and we will have more quests to jump into at the same time. And those will be arriving in the winter. Um, they will have more details about that in the future. And additionally, we want they have updated the calendar. So let me just have a little look at this. Um, Moving to 2021 will be expeditions, new daily ops, and perk loadouts, which is very disappointing to me. I really I wanted perk loadouts. I wanted them now. I've wanted them for a long time. So
Yeah, it would have been nice.
yeah. There are also going to be some weekend events in the game. So in our community calendar here, we've got, gosh, this is a very small image. Let me just, okay, September 22nd through 28th, we get a second helping of Meat Week, and they have done some tweaks to Meat Week that we'll talk about as well. October 1st through 5th will be a double score weekend. October 15th through 19th will be a treasure hunter weekend. That's the return of those mole miner treasure hunters with the fancy lunch boxes.
Good news, everyone. Apparently, they're going to be hostile now, so you don't have to worry about murdering innocent little mole miners.
Gracious. I really want them to be hostile this year because I felt horrible murdering these guys as they just ran away and taking their lunch boxes. It was not a good feeling. October 13th, they will drop patch 23. October 22nd through 26th, bombs drop week events. We don't know exactly what that means. And October 23rd is bombs drop day. So they're going to be doing something in honor of the anniversary of the Great War. And in November, December, we'll have the Steel Dawn update and camp shelters, another treasure hunter weekend on November 5th through the 9th, a bonus challenge week, November 10th through 16th, a Fallout 76 2-year anniversary event on November 14th, double score week, November 17th through 23rd, more treasure hunters, the 26th through 30th, and December, the 10th through the 14th, we'll have a double XP weekend. The 17th through the 31st, the return of the Holiday Scorched event, and the 24th through 28th, a 25% off sale at the Purveyor. So that is all a set of events we can look forward to. And of course, the Meat Week return is the final reward from our Fortifying Atlas events. So I'm excited that Meat Week is coming back. I'm looking forward to that. And
I feel like I didn't get enough meat.
I definitely didn't. Yeah, definitely did not. I have an iron deficiency. It's just, I need more carnivorous time. And they've made some adjustments to primal cuts based on community feedback. So now all prime beasts will display a quest target so that you can find them. And additionally, during the final wave, you'll only need to take down the boss creature to complete the event successfully. So that should help in terms of having fewer failed events when you, because there were several times that the event would fail when it felt like it should not have failed.
Yep. Yeah.
And we can grill up some meat with Graham and Shaline. Looking forward to that. The final meat cook will take place at 12 p.m. Eastern time on September 28th. So that is inside the vault. And of course, as Arjun in chat mentions, Mischief Night was not on the lineup. That was not on the calendar. There is no Halloween event scheduled, and I am devastated by this. I loved Mischief Night. I loved it. Forking the lawn, blowing up the cars, the candy, graffitiing the walls. It was wonderful. I loved Mischief Night. And I guess they were having some issues with bugs. So no Mischief Night for us. I'm bitterly disappointed.
They did have a tweet that said that they're going to try to do something else to celebrate Halloween. I'm bummed out too because I didn't even get a chance to be a part of Mischief Night last year. So I hope they do something for Halloween. At least let us earn decorations somehow. But Halloween's a big event for a lot of people, and they like to decorate for it, and it'll be interesting to see what they do. I hope they do something. I don't know.
Me too.
But yeah, that was a bummer that that's not happening. So I don't know what the bombs drop event is. That's
something new.
No idea what I could even speculate from that. Couple of things on the treasure hunter situation. The treasure hunter crates. What are they called? The pails.
Pails,
The
yeah,
pails that
ornate
you,
mole miner pails and plain mole miner pails.
so the pails that you earn from this year's treasure hunter are not able to be dropped, traded, or sold. So
Yes.
keep that in mind if you're looking at someone's camp and they have pails for sale. Those are not this season's rewards. You will get the
I'm sure
last
they're doing
springs.
that to avoid duping because there has been some rampant duping with the
Yeah.
holiday gifts and the mole miner pails. So,
So yeah, they're not letting you sell or distribute those. You either have to earn them or craft them yourself.
mhm.
The other thing I noticed is that the craftable pail drop rates are a little bit higher percentage for some of the
Really?
rewards. Yeah, like 1% higher chance of a drop in the crafted ones than the ones you find on the ground. But um, but I wanted to make that distinction that this fall treasure hunter pails are not able to be sold like the spring version. So don't get scammed. Just wanted to let you guys know that.
Yeah. Do we have the list of things that are going to be in the pails yet?
I do. If you just give me hold music for like 1 second.
So do 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 do
Oh,
do
is that
do
the girl from
do.
Empanina?
Yes,
Ah,
that's
nice.
that's my default hold music. Yeah, it's Girl from Ipanema.
All right, here's the rewards list. Okay, so this is fall. Okay, so I went fall 2020. We've got script will drop out of the ornate and mole miner. They won't drop out of the dusty one. Um, you can get the. I'm just gonna say what plans and stuff are available. So the treasure hunt rare rewards are circus cage trailer, the insurgent hat and the insurgent outfit, the marine armor helmet, rad stag hunting knife, safari colossus backpack, treasure hunter outfit or treasure hunter hat, the safari gorilla backpack, the deathclaw hunter outfit, deathclaw hunter hat, the grafton monster lamp, which has me intrigued, the animatronic clown. Sounds terrifying.
Indeed.
A Wanamingo plushie, a strongman outfit, bed of nails, Grafton monster mask, which I'm excited for. I don't even know. It doesn't even have a face, so I don't know if it's just gonna be like a fleshy nothingness, or the strongman's super sledge paint. This is interesting because if you've noticed, the bed of nails, the strongman super sledge paint, the circus. This is like a circus theme thing going on here. Strongman, like you hit the ding bell and it goes bing, the strongman event. So this is a little circus theme kind of
Yeah,
that they've got going on.
there's the circus trailer, whatever that was called, the
Yeah.
circus cage, that was available last
Oh,
time.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I have one of those. I think Archon found it for me. It was one of the rare drops,
Gotcha.
and of course, the Crackalos's backpack was
Mm-hmm.
one of the rare drops from last time. Also, that Archon found for me. Uh, but I'm wearing that right now. I love that Crocoloss's backpack.
so
It's fabulous.
those are the rare ones. Some of the treasure you can get is like aluminum, scrap, black titanium, coal, crystal gold, nuclear material, silver. You can get various goodies, such as different brews, aid stuff, frag renowns, and of course the all loved and treasured floater grenades. You can get those
Ugh,
as a reward too. So
I'm so tired of those floater grenades.
I hate those things.
I want them to float
Sound like
away.
sound like wet farts when they go off. Like,
I hate the noise.
but yeah.
It's a gross noise.
But those are the rewards for the treasure event. I'm really curious to see what the bombs drop event is. I don't know. So. But anyway, well,
Indeed.
there have been some ballistic bargains. Let's get into those. And I could not think of a good segue. Do you want me to take this, or you want to take this, Shaline?
Go ahead.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at the Atomic Shop weekly update. All right, The free items that you can get are the Brotherhood of Steel Collectron, available until September 22nd, and the No Mic emote, which is just kind of available until whenever.
It's a fun emote, though.
It is. The microphone goes. So.
But first, you have this fabulous microphone.
Mhm.
I feel like we need to use that to do a photo shoot, like for the advertising the podcast. We need to have
We should.
us with the microphones. Be great.
We definitely should. But yeah, it's a pretty cool emote. Hold on a second.
Ah, look at the chat writing a better show than us. You said you didn't have a segue.
Wait.
Asher Dusk says floater grenades might be a bust, but you know what's not? Ballistic bargains.
That is a great one. However, this current ballistic bargains is not the best. Anyway, so in honor of the Mothman Festival, they're presenting a Mothman Festival Hunter Bundle. And the Mothman Festival Hunter Bundle is 1,200 atoms. It's available until October 6th. And it includes the Mothman Worship emote, which is the bonus item included in it, the Mothman Hunter outfit, the Burning Torch weapon skin for the Super Sledge, the I Survived Mothman Festival photo frame, and the Mothman statue player icon. The Mothman Hunter outfit is available outside of the bundle for 900 atoms, the Dungeon Door for 300. The Burning Torch Super Sledge skin is available for 500 atoms. The I Survived Mothman Festival photo frame for 250, and the Creepy Mothman player icon is 150. Those are all available until October the 6th. The Death Ray Bug Zapper, which is interesting, but it's 500 atoms. I'm not sure if it's worth the price. If it's just a lamp, I don't know. I would hope that
Does it make the same horrible noise that the bug zapper in the Raider tent?
See, that's what I was curious. Like, if it, like, every once in a while I hear like a,
Because I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, I don't know. I would love if, like, once every 5 hours, you just hear in the distance, "Oh, look at the light! I can't help it. It's so beautiful." That line, just like
Yes.
super random. So yeah, you can get that for 500 atoms. The Mothman Cuckoo Clock for 300 atoms. That has me intrigued. But I don't know if they animate. That's my fear,
Yeah, I
is that
wish
they
that
don't
it would
animate.
show a little preview in the Atom Shop. I would prefer that if we could get a better preview of these things.
Yeah. Or, I don't know, say the classic jukebox actually plays good jukebox music instead of classical music.
It's the classic jukebox, and it plays classical music.
But it looks like... But the dude is doing a rockabilly rock and roll
He
move in
is.
front. So anyway.
Yeah.
The Bone Raider Excavator Power Armor is 30% off now at 700 atoms. And you can get that as available until September 22nd. I like the music when I do this.
Me too.
Available until September 22nd. You can also get the classic jukebox. I wouldn't recommend it. For 500 atoms. The Gold Mr. Rocket Kitty Ride for 500 atoms. The Camo Secret Service Power Armor for 800 atoms. And then available until September 29th. This is what I'm tempted to get. The Around Appalachia bundle for 1,500 atoms. And that includes, like, couches and a chair and a cuckoo clock and a fireplace. It's pretty dope. No, the fireplace is not yet another door. The Drifter outfit is 900 atoms, available until September 29th. The West Virginia backpack, 500 atoms. The Vault Tech Cuckoo Clock, 300 atoms. And the Hunting Lodge bundle, which is included in the Around Appalachia bundle, and that is 700 atoms. Let's see here. Some of our favorite items have returned. The Contemporary Camp bundle for 1,200 atoms. If you do not have the Contemporary Camp bundle, this was one of the best things that you could buy.
It's lovely.
It's great. The porch, the railings, and the light blue siding is just great. The only thing I wish that they would do is, like, give us some other roof alternative options.
I agree with that.
They have the asbestos tiled roofs, but I miss those. Anyway, the Mothman 2020 bundle is available until October 6th for 1,200 atoms. The Log Cabin bundle is 1,050 atoms. And that's available until September 22nd, along with the Mothman Jetpack skin for 500, Mothman plushie backpack for 5, and the Metal Mothman mask is 200, the Alien Mothman mask is 200, and the Hunter Orange Pip-Boy skin, 200. Be safe out there when you're hunting. You gotta let people know where you are. and the skull mask is 150 atoms. The
That has been a popular choice in nuclear winter lobbies. I
Yeah,
feel like everybody's wearing that skull mask nowadays.
they just want to look like Daniel Craig from the beginning of that um, episode of 007 where he's in like the Day of the Dead festival. He's got the skull
Not
mask.
familiar.
It's a cool scene. That the music goes really well with it, and yeah. Anyway, the paratrooper loot bag is going back to the vault, but you can grab it now for 350 atoms. You can grab the warband for 125, the grid iron for 125, the sitting pose for 75, the master heavy gunner player icon for 25, and the Pip Boy 3000 Mark IV player icon for 25 atoms. The weekly offers are Mothman Cultist Bundle for 600 atoms and the Mothman Outfit Bundle for 750 atoms. If you're a fan of the Mothman,
Those are pretty good deals.
it is your week to buy stuff from the shop. And some of it looks really cool. It's not my cup of tea as far as just how, I like the more posh look kind of thing, and this is definitely more of like a Halloween. It's
Mhm.
not my cup of tea. So if you're into it, there you go. And that is the ballistic bargains for this
Okay.
week. Perfect timing with the music.
That was beautiful.
I did not try that. All right. So shall we talk about patch 22?
Let's do. Of course, patch 22 is it's a game changing patch. This one, the game will never be what it used to be.
No.
After this patch, it's a different game now, and we've been playing it. Rick and I
Yep.
actually came home early from work on Tuesday to play this video game because that's how much I care about this show and making sure that you guys have the content that you deserve. So Rick and I have been putting a ton of time into this, and we're very excited to talk about it. So let's go ahead and roll through these patch notes, and we
Yeah.
can talk about those as we go through them, and then afterwards we can chat about any other thoughts we have about the patch in general.
Mhm.
So of course, Bethesda's patch notes are available on Bethesda.net,
Mhm.
and they describe this one wasteland patch as allowing creatures to dynamically adjust their levels up or down on the fly to more closely match each player they encounter. And if multiple players come across the same enemy at the same time, its level will simultaneously rise for higher level players and drop for lower level players. And in addition to levels, each creature's damage, health, and resistances, as well as the loot they drop and the XP they award, will match each individual player. So, this means that all players who are out in a group together can have an impact on any given combat encounter, even if there is a large level gap between them. And creatures will still have minimum and maximum levels, such as a max level of 50 in the forest, but they are now more flexible overall. And it states that One Appalachia opens up more opportunities to adventure anywhere in Appalachia, alone or with your friends, smooths out some of the early game bumps for new players, and allows higher level players to get max level loot in previously lower level regions, and will offer more consistent combat encounters for everyone. So, of course, the new season board and rewards were introduced. So,
Mhm.
Armor Ace and the Power Patrol
Paw Patrol.
are, yes, the Paw Patrol are marching against the Subjugator and his Red Viper minions. And it's plainly, quite obviously, non copyright infringing GI Joes. It's very heavily GI Joe inspired, and it's very fun. The little song on the Armory scoreboard is just it's everything.
And
It's
complete with the
fantastic.
technology is power quote.
Yes, technology is power. My favorite was the one that you pointed out the other day, where the soldier was
Oh,
planting a
that was
flag in
Archon.
the middle of the communists. Was that Archon?
Yeah, he was pointing
I'm
out
sorry,
the.
Archon, but yeah, he was planting the flag in the communist.
Yeah.
The seeds of liberty. So good, so good.
Does it bug
Um,
anyone else that we say the seeds of liberty, but liberty's represented as a female? I mean, I'm just throwing that out there that it doesn't make any sense.
It's
Like everywhere we see Liberty, she's she. Why do we say Seeds of
yes.
Liberty? It's just weird.
You're taking a weird direction with this, Rick.
I don't understand why they say Seeds of Liberty. That's all.
You're taking a weird direction with this, Rick.
If they presented it as a tree, it would make more sense.
Yeah. I mean,
You don't plant a human.
no, no, but
That's all. It's never shown as a plant, but they're like the seeds. I'm like, to grow what? A human? I don't know. It's a weird representation.
I feel like it's not. I feel like you made it weird.
No, I never
You're
make it
good
weird.
at that.
I
You're good
know.
at that. It's a skill. It's a skill for you.
Anyway,
Um, so moving along.
I love derailing you.
The Armor Ace scoreboard has been added. It's 100 ranks, just like the last one, and it will last for 10 weeks. And there is a difference between this one and the last one. The prior one had your game piece dueling against the game piece of the evil Captain Zorbo. You were chasing him, you had to catch up and then stay ahead. And I like that there's not that pressure feeling like you're behind right from the get-go, but I also don't like that I don't have a visual representation of how well I'm doing.
Or how long you have left, yeah.
How long I have left, yeah.
Yep.
So there are a ton of rewards, including power armor paints, armor and weapon skins, cosmetics, camp items, in-game currencies, perk card packs, etc., etc. And this time, rank ups are purchasable immediately. So anybody who wants to purchase their ranks with atoms can do that right away. I wouldn't. I mean, I would wait until the end. And then you can see whether or not you're going to finish and buy those more difficult ranks instead of buying the easier early ranks. That it doesn't make sense to me to buy ranks right away, but I guess it's your money. You guys do what you want.
I mean, I hit rank 13 on the first, 2 days.
Yeah.
Maybe even first day. I can't remember. I think it might have been 2 days. So it's not that hard to get those couple out of the way, and you can save your atoms for something else. And yeah, they're pretty cool rewards. The Foot Locker is really cool.
I like the Foot Locker. There are new daily and weekly challenges, including challenges themed around the new daily ops, and they've added a larger number of weeklies to the lineup. So that's something that they really listen to player feedback on. A lot of people did not have time to log in every day and get this homework done. So so they've expanded the weeklies to give you a better opportunity if you can't play every day to get that done and earn some score, which I really appreciate. Good on you, Bethesda, for taking that feedback. And several of last season's rewards, including lunchboxes, the ammo converter, things like that, are now available at gold bullion vendors. So if you missed them last season, you can still grind for some gold bullion and redeem those. So. Daily ops were added with patch 22. So the description here says, put your skills to the test by taking on instanced, randomized, and repeatable encounters called daily ops. Daily ops are fairly challenging, and so we recommend them for characters who are level 50 plus. And there are different modes. The first mode is uplink, which requires you to secure a series of uplinks and destroy enemies that are a threat to Appalachia. And you join daily ops from the map screen. You just select the daily op and you can enter it right there. And you can do it alone or with a team of up to 4 players. I highly recommend taking a team if you can, because they're pretty tough. You know, it's a lot better if you have some backup. And there are different combinations of locations, enemies, types, and enemy mutations to keep it fresh. So the locations are the Burrows, the Burning Mine, the Valley Galleria, and Vault 94.
Ooh.
And I really like going back into Vault 94 now. You know, that's something I appreciate, because that vault raid, it a lot of people had issues with it. Rick and I tried it. We got devastated. But this gives us the opportunity to enjoy that environment, that great environment.
Did we get devastated?
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Oh, we didn't even make it through that second room. Yeah.
Yeah, we got our faces wrecked. It was bad, Rick.
Yeah.
The enemy factions available to fight include super mutants, blood eagles, or robots. And mutations include the following: piercing gaze, that is always applied to enemies in the uplink mode. It gives them greatly enhanced perception of players. Volatile makes enemies explode on death. That one was pretty fun. There was
Yeah,
a lot of
it was.
explosions in that.
Yep.
Active camouflage, so the enemies will be cloaked when they are not attacking. Resilient, enemies can only be killed by a melee attack. That one was made for me. Um, we played that together, and it was really fun. Rick was shooting them, and then I would roll around and just punch them.
Yeah.
It's great. Um, Freezing touch, enemy attacks will freeze players. And of course, this is I learned the hard way, guys, that you cannot clear the room and explore it.
No.
No, this is a timed event, and the enemies keep coming. No matter how many you kill, there are more enemies behind them, so you've got to keep moving. They've reduced the condition damage taken by your weapons and armor by 50% while you are in a daily op, and creatures drop ammo based on the weapons that you are using to take them down. So that helps you not lose too much ammo in combat. You can repeat daily ops as often as you like each day, and you get a base set of rewards every time you complete them. But there are 3 additional reward tiers if you complete them during a certain time limit. If you complete them within 16 minutes or less, that is the Initiate tier. If you complete them in 12 minutes or less, that is the Paladin tier. And if you complete them in 8 minutes or less, that is the Elder tier. And the higher the tier you achieve, the higher your chances to get rare rewards, including XP, larger amounts of in game currencies, legendary items, and new items like the Warglaive, which is a customizable 2-handed melee weapon. Looking forward to checking that out.
Mhm.
And after you finish a daily op, you can view an operation report that shows you your time, which reward tiers you reached, and a list of the rewards that you earned. So daily ops are actually super fun. I really like them.
Yeah,
Um,
and I like how they say like about the dropping the ammo, but it's like we never even have any time to
Never have time to
loot
loot.
and go. I mean, we just hit it, and yeah, it's definitely a shoot and scoot situation. You don't hang around until you're defending an objective or something.
Yeah, any of you guys who have ever watched us do a stream, you guys know that I tend to kind of bumble around. And the guys, they focus, they're doing the objective, they're doing the thing. And while they do the thing, I'm going through drawers, and I'm looking at a vase of flowers on a countertop. I'm wondering what scenario led this skeleton to be in this particular position. And I wander around, and I daydream. And that is not an acceptable play style for daily ops.
No, not at all.
So
Hey, Left 4 Dead was a training though, for
yes.
being more comfortable with on the go
That
shooting.
definitely helped me when you said play this like it's Left 4 Dead. That helped me roll through and keep up with the game. So
Mhm.
that was good. Legendary perks were added in this update.
Yep.
Tasman says that I examined blades of grass. That is something that I have literally been guilty of. Yeah.
In Destiny, there's
Yes.
grass. It's
That Destiny 2 grass is beautiful though. Legendary perks are new high level perk cards for players who have reached level 50 plus, and they will help you add more power and build diversity to your characters. And this legendary perks button is at the top of the normal perk card menu where you can do those. You unlock your first legendary perk slot at 50 and up to 6 slots in total at level milestones 75, 100, 150, 200, and 300. So if you already have high level characters, they will already have access to a legendary perk slot for each of the above milestones, and 1 legendary card can be equipped in each slot. You can unequip them at any time in exchange for a perk coin. And that is yet another currency because Fallout 76 doesn't have enough of those. And legendary perk slots are available account wide, and they are available to all of your characters as soon as you unlock them. So if you have a high level character, that gives your low level characters an additional advantage of being able to use these legendary perk slots. So even your characters below level 50 will be able to equip legendary perks, giving them access to more power than your previous characters had. And with legendary perks, they're introducing perk coins, which you can use to level up your legendary perk cards. And you earn perk coins by scrapping your unused normal perk cards. Each perk card will grant you 2 perk coins per rank. For example, a rank 1 perk card gives you 2 coins. A rank 3 perk card will give you 6 coins. And each legendary card can be upgraded up to 3 times at a price of 50, 100, and 150 perk coins to reach ranks 2, 3, and 4. And legendary perk slots are account wide, but your legendary perk selections and upgrades are separate for each character. And they have added a challenge to the challenge menu called Become Legendary, which gives you 50 perk coins at level 50 automatically. So that's you already have that unlocked if you have a level 50 character. So we should go through the legendary perks later on as well.
Yeah.
If you could find a list
pull
of
those
those
up.
while we're going through the rest of the patch notes.
Yeah. The next thing you're about to say, I think, is probably the most important out of all of the patch notes and out of
It
all of
is
patch
now
22.
free to
Yep.
fast travel to Foundation and Crater. So no more paying to travel to do your dailies and get your Raider rep and your Settler rep. So excellent. And some combat changes were made. They have changed the way that damage bonuses are calculated so that they now apply additively instead of multiplicatively. And while stacking damage bonuses will have a similar effect to your damage output, these changes will make the resulting damage more predictable and allow for future improvements. So they're still working on this. They're gathering feedback from the PTS, and they may make changes in the future. And some items were changed. The Alien Blaster's damage was increased by 30%. And the Assassin's legendary attribute now applies its bonus damage to human NPCs, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
PvP is essentially dead in this game, with the exception of Nuclear Winter. There are very few people doing PvP. So that Assassin's effect was virtually useless. The Secret Service armor, plans for light and ultralight limb mods have been added, and they are now purchasable from Reg in Vault 79. And the shish kebab now deals fire damage instead of energy damage.
I thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm. Perks, they changed the modern Renegade's chance to cripple limbs from 2, 3, and 4% to 4, 8, and 12%. And pistols now benefit from the Tank Killer perk card. And public teams, there was a pretty significant change. They've renamed the building team to casual and removed the traditional casual team bonus. So that was basically, it was how people were using the building team just as a casual team to get a little more XP. And instead of the building team, they have added a daily ops team type, which offers bonus XP for completing daily ops. And it gives you also that ability to find like-minded players to do the daily ops with if you don't have a full team. Mm-hmm. So Vault 94 is now accessible at all times in adventure mode and in private worlds, so you can explore that at your heart's content. I'm looking forward to actually doing that, taking some time and just deep diving into Vault 94. And Vault 51 has a new no camp zone around the exterior in preparation for future content.
Ooh.
Perhaps this means they will be bringing Nuclear Winter out of beta. And perhaps this means we will be able to explore Vault 51 without without the time limit, just explore it at our leisure without, just having the minute and a half before you load into the Nuclear Winter match to check out those holotapes and things.
Yeah, there's a lot of lore in Vault 51, and it would be really nice to kind of understand it a little bit better. So.
There have been a number of bug fixes. I won't go through each of these. They fixed one that really annoyed me, which is that the Grognak's Battle Cry emote now displays. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say the Charlie the Moo one, where the Under Armour no longer clips through Charlie the Moo outfits.
That annoyed me too. Yeah. Under Armour's no longer clipped through Charlie the Moo. But guys, I wear that what's it called? Urban Scout armor, the one
Hmm.
that gives you the big strength and endurance boost. Um Archon made me a set. I wear it all the time. It's the best Under Armour. And it clips through every dang outfit. Every dang outfit. It clips through. It makes my outfits ugly, but I want to wear it because it gives me the benefits. Bethesda, please fix this. Uh, oh, and loot bags. They fixed an issue with that Vault Tech duffel
Yeah,
bag, the
I
free
hated
one.
that.
Yes, it was very difficult to interact with. You basically had to line up your cursor with the zipper of the loot bag, the
And it was
zipper
funny because
hole.
I didn't even realize that was a bug. I just thought it was just a thing, right? And then they
Yes.
fixed it. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I didn't even think
But
to complain about it, you know?
now it's normal,
Oh,
so you
good.
can just do that.
Mhm.
There were many camp and workshop
Yeah, it was a
changes.
lot.
Yes, this is a ton. We're not going to go through all of these. Let's see what seems particularly important.
Oh, the one that got Archon a couple times. The log cabin players can now correctly place items in the window of the window of the
Yes,
log cabin,
I remember him trying to put daffodils
and it
in
would go
his
whoop.
windowsill, and he was so frustrated, just so
Yep.
frustrated. So hopefully he'll be able to fix that.
The,
They fixed an exploit that allowed players to build workshop ammunition factories in their camps. And this was something that I saw a lot. A lot of people had these built in their camps. They shouldn't have been able to do that. And camps and blueprints that contain a workshop ammo factory are now invalid and can no longer be placed. So,
now that ammo factory, is that different from the one that you get from the raiders?
yes,
Okay.
the one you get from the Raiders is totally fine. This one that they're talking about is the one that's at the if you take over
Oh, really?
the ammo workshop, the ammo
Yeah,
factory
yeah.
workshop, it's that one.
How the heck did?
And there were camps that had as many as like a dozen or 15 of these all over their camp, just cranking out bullets. Yes.
Wow.
So that's been fixed. Let's see here. There were some fixes to the taxidermy gorillas, and um, yeah, that's all that's super
Yeah.
notable. There were a ton of other camp changes. Um,
Hmm.
let's see here.
The
Death
enemy.
and respawn.
Oh,
Go ahead.
I was gonna
Go
say the
ahead.
enemies one. They fixed a thing where the Scorch Beast Queen's wings can now be crippled to cause her to land, and her legs can be crippled to slightly reduce her rotation speed.
Right.
That's really important, especially when you need that thing to land.
Yes, when you are a fisticuffs character at the Scorch Beast fight, you need her to land.
Yep.
You really, really, really need her to land, and being able to cripple her wings is instrumental to that.
Hmm.
Let's see. They've fixed some item things as well. Some of these are not super important.
Yeah.
Um, let's
They
see.
fixed the
They,
negative range issue for the shotguns. So
that's
there's that.
good. They also changed that perk where equipping fireworks as your throwable would cause weapons to reload super fast. That was kind of a fun bug. Yeah, I tried that one out. It was kind of fun. And let's see
I
here.
was gonna see. I didn't see any big issues.
let's see.
Controls are good. Damage numbers. Yeah, it's just kind of. Um, what are the important ones? The glitch it in the sand. Glitch in the
Yes, the
sand.
line in the sand glitch
Yeah,
was fixed.
yeah, they fixed that.
So, if you don't know what we're talking about, Line in the Sand is an event at the Insane Asylum. Isn't that what it is? The
Yes, yep,
Asylum,
yep.
Allegheny Asylum,
Hmm.
and that's an event where you are attacked by Scorched and Scorch beasts, and you have to protect a sound generator. And you could place your camp strategically or a tent strategically to cut if you cut off the spawn points for the scorched, they would all spawn right in the center. They would just drop from the sky, just like 20 scorched would drop from the sky, and everyone would just circle around them and just shoot them with explosive weaponry. And it was bedlam. It was very exploitable for easy XP. and that has been changed. So it's now a no camp area there. Um,
Yeah, they would drop from the sky much like the frame rate would, because it
exactly.
was so bad after a while. But I have the legendary perk cards pulled up, by the way, Shalene.
Oh,
If you want to see
lovely.
them.
Shall we finish these and then go through them? Let's finish these and then go
Okay.
through them. So they've also added a bunch of stability fixes. I think that's been noticeable. Um, guns and events. The I think that's most of the important things for that. They did some interface changes. Those are not super notable.
A lot of quality of life
And
stuff.
yeah, several quality of life things. Okay, let's go through those legendary perks.
Cool.
That's the patch notes. Let's go
Yeah.
through legendary
Yeah,
perks.
if you want to check them out, they're worth a read, but it's not a ton of super important stuff that we didn't cover anyway. So, but what is important are the legendary perk cards. These change a lot. Um, if you were gonna make ammo, you typically put on Ammo Smith and you put on Super Duper, and you could get some bonuses that way. However, with the Ammo Factory legendary perk card, just on its base level, you can produce 50% more rounds when crafting ammo, and it can rank up to 150% more rounds when you're crafting ammo. I have this one chosen. It's awesome. I use a lot of ammo, so that's a good one. And it stacks with Ammo Smith, and then when you put Super Duper on it, it just goes, yeah, crazy. I don't know how that stack works, so I don't know if Super Duper is triggered off the base ammo build. That's a good question for someone who's smarter than me. I don't know. Next one is the Blood Sacrifice legendary perk card. Shalene, you said that you wanted to take this one. It's
I
when you.
thought about it, but I think I'm gonna get a different one instead after
Yeah,
talking with Archon yesterday.
I don't think you need this one.
Yeah.
Blood Sacrifice is when you die. Teammates gain plus 25 damage resistance and heal over 40 HP over 8 seconds. And that ramps up to when you die, teammates get 40 damage resistance and heal over 70 HP over 14 seconds. So there's that one. Brawling Chemist. I read this one and thought of you. You generate one combat enhancing chem every hour, up to a max of 3.
I thought about getting this one as well. Yeah. But I do have that Raider Collectron bringing me lots and lots of chems.
There you go. You can rank that one up to generate 2 combat enhancing chems every 40 minutes, up to a max of 5. The next one is collateral damage. That enemies killed have with a melee weapon have a 10% chance to explode, and that ups to a 20% chance to explode. I believe Archon said you have to be careful with this one because he launched someone into the sky and
Yeah,
they went up
he
so high
launched an enemy into the stratosphere, and when it came
it
down,
wasn't
like
legendary
10
anymore.
minutes later, it was no longer a legendary.
So, let's see, detonation contagion. Enemies killed with a thrown explosive have a 20% chance to explode, and you can rank that up to a 50% chance to explode. Electric absorption, 10% chance enemy energy attacks recharge your power armor's fusion core, and you can ramp that up to a 20% chance for enemy attacks to recharge your power armor's fusion core. The exploding palm, while unarmed, a 5% chance of triggering an explosion on attack hits.
I got this one, and
Did you?
it's pretty fun.
You can ramp that up to a 20% chance. Have you had some explode on you?
I have had a few little explosions. It's not super dramatic, but it's fun.
um, Keeping up with the theme of exploding enemies, enemies killed with a ranged weapon for far-flung fireworks per card. Enemies killed with a ranged weapon have a 10% chance to explode, and you can ramp that up to, again, a 20% chance of explosion. Let's see here. Follow through. That is a ranged sneak damage, increases damage to target by 10% for 10 seconds, and you can ramp that up to 40% for 60 seconds. I feel like that would probably stack on Tenderizer.
Hmm.
So with Tenderizer and your sneak perk cards, along with this, you could definitely make enemies susceptible to damage. Funky Duds! 50 plus 50 poison damage resistance when wearing a matching set of armor, and you can up that to 200 poison damage resistance when matching set of armor. So there's that. Hack and slash, 20% chance for melee VATS attacks to do area damage, and you can ramp that up to a 50%.
This is the one that Archon was using. Hack and slash.
Oh, really? And it just
Mm-hmm.
launched him.
Mm-hmm.
There you go with that one. After that, it looks like I want to see if the rest of these are all the same. Master Infiltrator. This is an important one.
Yes, I took this one immediately.
Yeah, me too. Master Infiltrator is an auto unlock skill, 0 terminals and locks, and you automatically have +3 lockpick and hacking skills. So what this basically does is it auto picks any skill 0 terminals and locks, and you never have to equip those annoying hacking or lock picking perk cards again. So you just
Yes.
pop this card in your legendary slot, hack and pick away.
I was so tired of swapping out cards just to pick a lock or hack a terminal. So
Yeah.
tired of that.
Now this one I'm not gonna. You can eventually level this to where you can auto pick or auto hack any terminal or
Yes.
safe. I don't mind doing the mini games enough to where I want to spend all of the perk cap,
Yeah,
whatever that
I
new
doubt
currency
that I will
is.
ever level this one.
Yeah, because it does what I want it to do, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't care about the auto unlock. What I care about is not having to equip and unequip those perks.
Absolutely. Power armor reboot. 15% chance to auto revive with full health if you're downed in power armor, and you can up that to a 40% chance to auto revive with full health if you die in power armor. Power sprinter is while in power armor, sprinting consumes 20 fewer action points, and you can up that to 50% fewer action points. Retribution, blocking a melee attack restores 1 HP and 1 AP for 15 seconds, and you can ramp that up to 4 HP and 4 AP for 15 seconds as well. Sizzling Style is another perk card that plus 50 fire damage resistance when wearing a matching set, and you can up that to 200. And Survival Shortcut, which is generate 1 survival aiding chem every 30 minutes up to a max of 5. And then if you rank it up to the level of Shaline, generate 2 survival aiding chems every 20 minutes up to a maximum of 10.
I considered getting this one as well, but I haven't yet.
This next one I'm considering to get. Take one for the team, which is enemies take 10% more damage when they attack you if you're on a team, and you can ramp that up to 40% damage. Could you imagine if we all had that?
That would be great. That's the one I was talking with Archon about yesterday, because I'm fisticuffs, so I tend to be in the front. So that would probably be a good one for me.
I think that is a good card. That I think is more useful than the sneak attack one, even though it does take more damage. So yeah. What rads? I think you took this one, Shaline.
I did. I took this one and I immediately leveled it to level 2. I will probably level it to 3. It's just, oh gosh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, this one I think I'm going to swing for at some point. But it's plus 50 rad resistance and restore 1 rad per second. Not if you have a bloodied build. Don't take this if you have a bloodied build.
Yeah.
Plus 300 rad resistance and restore 6 rads per second when fully leveled. There are other legendary perk cards that are basically
they give you another special point.
They give you another special point, for SIA, whatever, and it gives you +1. Let's just pick on intelligence here. +1 intelligence and +1 intelligence perk points, and the perk points cap at 15. So I used luck, and then you can level it up to +5, which gives you +5 intelligence or +5 and +5 perk points to use.
Right.
I used this on. Asher Dusk says those special points also work for nuclear winter decks, so that's good to know.
It is also important to note, as Archon says in chat, that the legendary charisma is bugged right now, and it doesn't allow you to share perk cons beyond your base charisma.
Gotcha. I wanted a couple more points on luck, so I used the luck one and leveled it up, so I get 2. But it still caps at 15. You can't push it past 15. But it is really nice when you've distributed your perk points to the point where you're like, all right, I like the distribution, but I just wish I had like 1 or 2 more on something. So it's definitely, again, they're all for each special. They're highly useful, but I would say be careful when you're using them. Um, when you can unequip legendary cards for the cost of 1 coin, and I do believe that it removes the leveling from those cards that you
I
then have
think
to
so.
re-level.
Hmm.
So be very careful when you go to swap out these cards. It's not like swapping out per cards. It's more of a permanent fixture, semi-permanent type of situation for those. But there's a lot of cool stuff in there. I can guarantee you they're going to add more at some point. I mean, there's no way that they would just let they would you know. So I'm really excited for like some of the flexibility that this opens up, and some of the just convenience factors of like the lock picking one, for instance. So and the
Hmm.
ammo factory.
That was a big quality of life change, that
Yeah.
lockpicking card. And I feel the same way about the What Rads perk card.
Hmm.
Um, I was extremely delicate when attacked by ghouls in particular.
Rules
Like,
are rough.
yes, they were very hard on me, and I've had a much easier time now. It's made me feel much more effective in combat, not having to deal with this rads issue. And I also don't die instantly in the nuke zone. So if I
Yeah.
fast travel to the queen fight and I'm in the nuke zone, I can survive long enough to get out of the circle and put on my power armor or whatever I want to do.
That's one thing. That's why I want to take that because if I want to traipse through
Hmm.
and collect some of the tulips and the radiated flowers, or even hang out in the nuke zone and kill enemies for
Hmm.
cool stuff, I can't do that in power armor or a hazmat suit because a hazmat suit is no armor, and power armor doesn't hold as much as I carry. So,
Yeah, no, you're still gonna need to wear power armor. I have the level 2,
oh,
and it's not enough to survive a nuke zone.
well, I meant
It's
fully
enough to
leveled.
survive long enough to get out.
Oh,
You don't die instantly.
gotcha. All right. Well, that's cool. Let's wax at length about Patch 22. This, I could safely say you would agree, I'm sure, Shaline, that this is a very polarizing patch. There have been I'm in a couple different Fallout Discord servers, and it's pretty much split down the middle of split down the middle of who likes it and who doesn't. Um,
Yes, I feel like nobody is just ambivalent about this patch. Either they love it or they have a problem with it.
yeah, and so let's just start off with the day that we got into. The first thing I think we both noticed was this this is smooth. Like it works. There's no bugginess to it. There's not like
Yes, they launched a major game-changing patch without it being incredibly broken.
yeah, and there were a few bugs and every once in a while a server would crash, but that was day 1, patch day 1 when everybody's jumping on. And yeah, it just it worked really nicely. And we made the joke of like this no longer just works. It just works. Like it
Right?
was yeah. Um I was pleasantly surprised on how stable it was. The biggest bug I noticed that day was that the Bethesda launcher said the servers were still down even though they weren't.
Hmm.
So, there you go. Um but we'll start with let's start with daily ops. Let's just talk about that real quick. We kind of touched on it. I did 2 of them. You've done 3.
I've done 3. Yeah.
It's very much run and gun.
I love them. They're
They're
very fun.
they are fun. It's a change of pace in the sense that like it's a fast paced thing.
Hmm.
And you're shooting constantly, you're just killing stuff. Um and you're doing the missions. It's such a change from the mental structure that you normally take with um Fallout 76. And they are difficult in the sense that you need to beat them in under 8 minutes to get the highest level reward. And under 8 minutes is tough. It's definitely tough. But we've done it, I think, every time.
Yes, I have never gotten below Elder so far. And I feel like a lot of that is having a team that's all working together.
Hmm.
I don't think that I could do even maybe I could maybe pull off initiate by myself. I don't know, maybe.
Well,
Um
maybe, yeah. I'm sure you
maybe.
could. Maybe.
But I feel like it's Most of Fallout 76 thus far has been built where you can play it as a team or as a solo player. I feel like daily ops is where that line is drawn.
Hmm.
Daily ops is for teams.
Yep. And it's not that big of a deal to drop into a random team. I know some
Yes.
people really don't like playing with other people, but if you're just trying to get some daily ops, um, I would say you could easily hop in with some randos, and 8 times out of
Hmm.
10, it'll be fine. You
I
just,
agree with that. We've had random players on every one of our daily ops,
yep.
and it was fine.
Yeah, they've been good. There's been no like terrible communication or anything like that, and they've been just right and doing what they're supposed to do. I would say that if you're going to try daily ops and you're really not sure about playing with other people, try it by yourself and take your time. You know,
Learn
it
how the mode
learn
works.
how the mode works, because the worst thing, this is one of those game modes where if you load into it as a noob and you don't know what you're doing, people will get mad at you. Like that is one of
Yes,
those
then
things.
your friends are yelling at you because you're examining blades of grass instead of moving on and securing the location. So,
Yeah, so keep that in mind. But they're fun. They offer some cool rewards, some unique stuff, and like as the Warglaive, for instance, the new two-handed weapon, and it looks pretty cool. Um, the legendary perks are fantastic. I mean, if you thought getting into the perks loadout was clunky, wait till you're trying to get into the legendary perks. Luckily, you're not swapping them out on the fly,
yes,
because that is just pain. But yeah, they're great. I love the ammo smith. Again, I use a ton of ammo, so it helps.
they're
Shaline,
huge quality of life improvements,
yeah,
those
you
legendary
love the
perks.
rad resistance stuff, and
I don't know how I ever lived without it.
you didn't survive the whole all the time without it.
Yes, I didn't live quite frequently without that perk.
The
So,
lockpick thing is just the best because you're not swapping stuff out all the time now because we don't have the loadout system yet. So
hmm.
it's just going to be really nice. It is really nice once if you hit level 50 and you have to pick one, pick the lockpick one.
I
Master
agree.
infiltrator.
Yeah,
Pick that one.
that
It's
opens up 3 intelligence and 3 perception for you to use of normal perks.
yeah,
Because you no longer need to have those equipped, and it is kind of fun having those level zeros auto unlock.
yeah. It's a good balance because you can still like have fun with like the auto pick, but then still do the mini games when you want to.
Hmm.
So it's nice. I think they're going to be great, and I think the more that I use the legendary perks, um, it's going to be fantastic. So yeah, on to the nitty gritty of patch 22. The Now a lot of people call it a nerf, and I want to be quite clear that I don't believe, and I will die on this hill, that this is not a nerf in a sense of it just squashes damage.
I will die beside you on this hill.
Thank you. It is more of a rebalance. And the reason I think that the idea Nerf got in our heads was most of the people from the playtest servers are on PC. They're not your standard like casual player, and I don't mean like a casual like noob, but I mean someone who just wants to hop into Fallout and have a good single player experience and not optimize anything and not treat it as this kind of MMO. I think the playtest server is more the people are more of a MMO optimization kind of crowd, and so most of them called this a nerf, and you saw it on Reddit and stuff when it was on the playtest server because most of them were running bloodied builds, and bloodied got nerfed, um, in a
Bloodied was
sense,
way too powerful.
right? And you saw this reflected on the Reddit posts about the PTS, where people who ran bloodied builds were like, they're cool with it. They don't do 1,000 times more damage. They do like 400 times more damage. But
It's still a very, very powerful build.
it's still meta at this point. Um, but what it really did do, and we will have to drive this home because there are major people in the Fallout industry who don't understand how this patch works. And what it does is no matter what level you are, no matter where you go, everything will be leveled to you. So if you take a level 2 dude into the Savage Divide, most of the enemies are going to be level 3 or level 4, level 5. Um, if you go into Watoga at like level 20, they're gonna be level 20 enemies. They're not gonna be level 50 normally. So if there's a min max that they didn't really specify. They did specify that Flatwood's max is 50, um, as far as levels. So even if you're like a level 300 and you walk into Flatwoods, they're capped at 50. So there is a min max. I don't know what that is for each area, but there is a min
Hmm.
max, and they're always going to be averaged to your level, no matter where you are in this
Yeah,
game type. So if you're in a place and you're like, this enemy shouldn't be level 13. Well, if you're level 13 or 14, it's going to be level
it's
13 or
supposed to
14.
be.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I feel like there was definitely a lack of understanding of what this patch was planning to do.
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of the criticisms are um, are coming from a place of ignorance. You know, they don't understand what the patch was trying to do. It's okay to not like what the patch did,
Hmm.
but that's not the direction that a lot of the criticisms are coming from.
Correct.
They're saying that it's broken, it doesn't work the way it should work.
Right.
Well, yes, it's working exactly as intended. If you don't like what's intended, that's fine. That's your right. Say it like that. Don't say that it's broken.
Yeah, because it actually isn't broken. Um, so from our experiences, we pretty much started playing this patch together.
Yes.
And from our experiences, we felt stronger.
Yes.
And now, granted, I've recently optimized my build thanks to Asher. I've recently optimized my build. I'm level 146, so I'm a little bit higher level. One of the guns I did notice, like it did get worse. I wasn't happy with it before the patch, but I felt like it definitely wasn't performing as good as it was before the patch. Was my 50 caliber hunting rifle.
Hmm.
It felt off after the patch, so I ditched it, and my 45 lever action is doing like 300 to 400 damage per shot in VATS, and
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
happy
have
with
the
that.
numbers turned on because
I
I
do.
hate the
I
numbers,
like seeing what I do.
but I have noticed that with some of the lower level enemies, it takes me 2 punches instead of 1 punch. I'm
Yes.
fine with that.
Yeah. There's no longer much one punch. You can still one
Hmm.
shot rad roaches that are level 75, but level 75 liberators around Vault 76, well, I guess level 50, you're probably going to take 2 shots.
Hmm.
Which, come on, it's 2 shots, not one, right?
Hmm.
Um, So we felt stronger. There are definitely levels that give you, there are definitely enemies that give us a fight. Like super mutants are pretty tough. They've always been tough, but now they feel a bit more tankier.
Holy smokes, the sheep squatch.
That thing got tough.
Yes, the sheep squatch by the lake spawned in at what was it, level 100?
Well, 75 when
It
I was
was, I
fighting
think
it
it
with
was
you,
100 for me.
it was yeah, that was a
And
boss
I
fight.
fought it pretty much by myself, and it was tough. It took time.
Hmm.
I had to do some dodging. I had to use some strategy, and I was a little scared. And there should be enemies that scare you, and
Hmm.
it's been a while since that's something that I've had in Fallout.
I think before the patch, the only enemy I was afraid of was Earl.
Hmm.
Like even the Queen was like, eh,
Yeah.
you know, stim up, shoot her enough, she'll die. The
Hmm.
Earl, I stim up. I shoot him a lot. He don't die. I haven't played it. Now, we haven't done Watoga's Mine since this patch, so I don't know what's
I
changed
have.
down there. Oh, how'd that go?
It went really well, actually. I'll talk about
Ah,
that later,
okay.
but um, I I think the optimization, the damage normalization didn't really affect that a ton. Everybody in there was pretty high level. Everybody that was on the team. The uh, the Wendigo spawns were level 75 for me. I
Yeah,
don't remember what level they were before.
they were all always level 75.
They were always level 75. So I don't think it changed much in there.
Gotcha. Um,
Earl was still pretty tough, but we got him. So.
real quick, I don't normally do this.
Mhm.
I thought I heard something outside my door. I need to look and check out.
Okay.
So go ahead and carry on, and I will be right back.
Yes, you go check. I hope you're safe.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm just kind of
Go check. And let's see. I was a little bit nervous that I would be struggling as a higher level character in even the lower level areas, but that's definitely not the case. As Rick said, I feel still very powerful. Jim Justice is like 156, I think, is his level. So that's fairly high. It's not as high as a lot of players are, but I definitely still feel very powerful, both with my guns and with my fisticuffs weapons. Um, let's see. The season 2 changes have been pretty good. I've really enjoyed the additional weekly challenges, and I also think that with season 2, they really paid attention to the feedback on the season 1 challenges. They're not as grindy as they were. It doesn't feel quite as much like homework. I feel like you can go in more casually and tackle these season 2 daily challenges and weekly challenges. The purchase or sell items has been changed to just one instead of three, for example. And I haven't seen any of the really tough challenges that were really frustrating in the previous season. So I hope that stays. And let's see, what else have I noticed?
Okay.
Thank God you're back. Oh gosh,
Everything was fine. Something fell over. We're good.
lovely.
What were you
I
talking
was talking about season 2, the changes that have been
about?
implemented
Oh,
to
okay.
the daily and weekly challenges, and how they've sort of listened to the feedback on that. And they're not quite as grindy. They're a little more approachable
Mm-hmm.
to even casual players now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Um, that is very true. Just by playing, you'll start completing them
Hmm.
and earning score, and it's pretty simple. I did want to touch back on patch 22 a little bit.
Go ahead.
Okay. So some of the complaints and issues that I saw were from people who are mid-leveled or low-level characters because
Okay.
we were coming from this at like high level, and when I say high
Yes.
level, I mean 100 plus.
So that's
Um,
not super high level. That's
no, I mean, but it's higher. It's on the higher side. There's something flying around. Um, so this morning I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a new tune. I'm gonna roll a new character, and I want to see what this patch is like as someone just walking into it for the first time, to see if what people were saying is true. And what people were saying is that things are harder. They die in the forest. There's a couple things like that where like they feel nerfed. They're not doing as much damage, and that sort of thing. And let's see what happens. So when I rolled my new tune, I did not put any legendary perk cards on him. So I kept it vanilla in that regard
right.
to make the combat tougher because I'm competent with a gun in the game. So I was like, all right, one-handed melee at like level 1 is a dumb idea because you get gladiator, but like that's it, you 10% boost. So I'm running around with a hatchet and some leather armor around the forest, and blood eagles are fine. The liberators are like maybe 2 or 3 swings. I'm using a gun here and there, but for the most part, I'm running around with melee, combat knife or hatchet, and then you're just killing stuff. And it felt normal. It felt a little more difficult than how it used to. Um, when I got down into Flatwoods, it so happened to be the event. What is it? Farm the you
The one where you have the farmer, Mr. Handies, the Mr.
Yes,
Farmhands.
yeah. You have
I've
to.
forgotten what it's called.
Me too. Um, when I came upon 4 Mr. Gutsies, it got a little sketch, and I had to like retreat a little bit and then approach it a little more tactfully. But it was nothing that a couple of thrown tomahawks couldn't handle. Which, by the way, it may take 3 or 4 swings from a hatchet, but one tomahawk will just murder any of the farmhands. By the way, I was level 2 at this point, and they were level 4. They were 2 levels above me.
Fertile soil is what
Fertile
the
soil.
event's called.
There we
Thanks, Arjun.
go. And so I went through, completed the event, killed the feral ghouls, looted the building, did some Flatwoods work, and then I thought, well, this is fine. Like this, I don't see how anyone would feel nerfed at a low level, right? Because like I mean, I had everything against me. I'm not good with melee. I'm terrible at it. I hate it, and I was still surviving fairly decently. It's like okay, so level 4, level 5, things feel fine there. Um, so I went to a public server and I was like, let's see where the farthest towards the cranberry bog I can get as far as camp. So there was somebody who was near WJLG Lake, so I fast traveled there and I took my level 5 character into the Blood Eagle camp where the skeleton catapults are, with the
Yeah,
little the
Johnson's
hunters.
Acre.
Yeah, I took my little level 5 to Johnson's Acre, okay? And all of the blood cultists were level 5. I thought, okay, I could probably handle this. And then I started having some trouble because they had fully automatic weapons and shotguns, and the boss was a level 10.
Mm.
I was able to kill all of them, and I used a lot of stim packs, and I ran away a lot, but I was able to win the fight. It took a long time, but I did it. And then I fast traveled back to Flatwoods, and then I got ambushed by 2 level 5 blood cultists, but I didn't have any stim packs, and it took my health down to like a shred of health left.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, there's that. Um, and I looked at my character list. I have a level 30. There's a good mid tier. It's not level 50. It's not level 5. Cool. Took my level 30 into Watoga, which is used to be a stupid idea. And same thing there. Things felt like they should have been in Watoga. They were tough. iBots are level 30, at least compared to with my level, and they took 2 or 3 shots from my bolt action rather than one. The Assaultron was a good 10-minute long fight of me running in circles around the crashed vertibird and through it while it blasted through with its laser, but eventually I did kill it.
Yeah,
That was a
Assault one should be tough.
that was a tough fight. Um and I came to a conclusion that pre-patch 22, Fallout 76 was very much like they showed in their initial launch trailer, where there's that girl spinning in the field with the 10mm submachine guns, and the
Mm-hmm.
"wouldn't it be nice," that's how it was. Like, it was a very buttery game. Not a lot, if you were at the appropriate level, not a lot was scary in that game. It
Yes.
took a ballistic Mr. Gutsy or like Earl to be really terrifying. Or if you just happen to get into a bad situation where like you got inundated by ghouls, you could die pretty quickly. But there were very few times where it felt like you had to think about combat before you walked into it.
I do feel like post patch 22, your build is a little more important than it used to be.
And that was it.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, I've never cared much about builds. I can't be bothered. I just no, I throw some perks on and then I never look at them again until I need something and Archon says, well, do you have this perk on? And I feel like now it is a little more important to think about your build.
Yes, they have definitely catered to optimization. The other thing that I wanted to point out too is I feel like combat is now like if you would play Fallout 4 on hard or survival, that's how the
Mhm.
combat feels. Even at any level, like the level 5 and level 30 that I was playing today, it felt like I had to think before I acted. And I've got a feeling that that kind of switch, because it is a difficulty switch. It is harder in a sense, and I feel like that's maybe rubbing people a little wrong. It's not so carefree anymore. At least that's the way it comes off to me. Um, every
It makes
fight
sense.
feels like a fight. It doesn't feel like you are always going to win. It feels like a fight. But I don't feel like the damage got nerfed. I just feel like the enemies are on your level, not below or whatever.
Another thing that's really nice about that is getting XP that's closer to your level.
Yeah.
It's no longer completely unattainable for me to get that daily level up with Gym Justice. Um, because I'm getting higher level enemies. I'm not getting these enemies that will give me
Yeah.
12 XP, 35 XP. I'm getting enemies that give me 100 XP, 125 XP. But at the same time, this did make Quesadilla much less useful. So
Yeah.
Quesadilla was my low level, and when I needed to get that level up quickly, I would just boot her up and go with Arch into the White Spring, and I would put one little bullet into a ghoul, a high level, like a level 60 ghoul, and Archon would just kill him, and then I would get all that glorious XP, and that will no longer be the
Mhm.
case. So,
And the thing that we have to remember is Bethesda, when they were looking at this patch, they were, again, taking it from the experience of people on the PTS.
hmm
They have yet to take and review the feedback that they're going to get from the majority of their players on console as well as PC. So
hmm
this is probably going to change a little bit. I'm going to
I would
guarantee
think so.
that this is going to get tweaked. So don't fret too much yet. Again, they pulled all that information off people who already optimize their builds because that's what they do. So that's why I feel like this is more geared towards optimization, is because that
Yes,
was their
that was the
input.
audience that they had input from.
So don't fear. I think it's going to even out a little bit, but they definitely also aired on playability versus experience. And the
hmm
way that I mean that is you are now allowed to play with friends at any level, anywhere in the game. So they
Yes.
accessibility. That's that they went for accessibility rather than leveled
And that's a
areas.
nice thing. You know, we can, instead of having to start a new character to play with a friend who's new to the
Yeah.
game, we can just play with them.
hmm
And that's cool.
Yeah, and it's a choice, and like you
hmm
can't have that idea of like there was something kind of cool about coming out of Vault 76 and going, I can't go over there, but I'm gonna try to see how far I can get in that high leveled area. You know what I mean? And just get
And
killed
that's
by.
something I do very much enjoy in video games is going places where I shouldn't go at a
hmm
low level. I love that in games. So I am a little sad that that's no longer an option.
Right, but you can see where Bethesda was making that choice. They're like,
Yes.
we want to keep it as a Fallout with friends, and so I think that's why they made a lot of the choices that they did. So.
Something that I do feel really, really good about is the way that Bethesda has been looking at community feedback
hmm
lately. I think they have been paying a lot of attention to the player base and listening to what we like, what we don't like. I feel like it's been really a priority to them to listen to player feedback and try to make the game that we want to play.
hmm
So
It, I agree.
kudos.
Yeah, and I am very happy with patch 22. And I'm sorry if it seems that like your build had gotten squashed. I was talking to someone who felt like they were doing less damage, and I was talking to them like, "What's your build?" They're like, "Well, I've got rifleman and commando and gunslinger," and I'm like, "That's kind of a scattered build, and it's kind of a bummer that you can't do everything." Um, but the patch kind of leans more towards
It might have
optimization.
been better if they had held off until they had the perk loadouts. I feel
Yeah,
like we need them now more than ever.
that's going to change some stuff too,
hmm
and again, I think this is going to get changed as we go. And even Arch in the chat says that the changes in patch 22 on the live patch 22 were less severe than they were on the PTS, and that is true. They did kind of tone it down for the general audience, but it's even going to change a little bit more too. So please, if you have issues, write your issues constructively and send it to put it on the forum, send it to Bethesda, let them know that like, hey, this is what I would like to see, or if this is possible, like be constructive about it. They do listen, and it's proof. So anyway,
Absolutely.
I'm excited to play more of patch 22. I was a little
Me too.
disappointed that the Brotherhood of Steel didn't come yet, but like you and I went to Atlas, we're like,
Yes, like right away we
we're
went to Atlas. We're like, "Hi guys, we're here.
there. and
Did I bring you enough glass?"
and then a tumbleweed blew by. We're like, where is everybody? Wait, Shaline, are we starting to get into our gameplay a little bit here?
Oh, I think we are.
Ooh. Yeah, we went to Atlas because we thought that the Brotherhood was coming, and They did not. Not yet. And even that dude was there. It wasn't there anymore.
Yes, yes. I've forgotten his name
Me too.
again.
What a podcast we are. Um,
Randall? No,
Hopefully the chat will help us out. But he was not there. Russell.
Russell. Russell Dorsey.
There
Thank
you
you,
go.
Arjun.
Yeah, he wasn't there. The Brotherhood wasn't there, and we were like, man, I don't know where could they be. And then I went to Watoga, and that triggered a little mission. I'm like, oh, maybe this is them. But no, it had to do with daily ops. But it's still worth going to Watoga if you haven't done so since patch 22, because there's a little bit of a quest down there relating to daily ops. So do
Yes,
that.
and a bit of lovely, delicious Brotherhood lore.
Yes, yeah. Speaking of speculation for future Brotherhood, I have a feeling they're not going to be mean, at least to start. So I think before I was saying that I think they're going to be rude
Yes.
or evil. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case. I really hope they're a joinable faction. Hello, Beth in turn. So we shall see on that regard. Like we've been saying, I've been playing patch 22 a good bit. Arch and Shaline and I have been running around getting score. We've been playing some Nuclear Winter. We've had
We
some
had to
good.
knock the rust off of our nuclear
Oh
winter
my gosh.
skills.
We the most recent Nuclear Winter bit that we had was we loaded in Shaline and Archon and I, and we're looking around, and then we noticed that our teammate is a level 2. We're like, oh, he's he's new. Come on, buddy, stick with us. There's a few times where like he'd get zipped and get down, and we're like, let's go get him, and we'd go out and res him, and it was funny. There would be so many times I'd run up and like sneak, and like I try to keep space between us. That way, like if a grenade falls, it doesn't take 3 of us out.
Yeah, we try to always be far enough apart that we can't be taken out with a single grenade.
Yeah, and so like I would sneak up and like get into a corner. I'd turn around and like the level 2's right here, and I'm like,
Yes.
dude,
he
back
was
up.
snuggled right up to you. You made him feel safe.
Yeah,
and he wanted to just cling to your arm.
and I forget why. I think we zipped a couple of people right off the bat, and killed a couple or something. But yeah, he was clinging to us, and we did pretty good. I think I killed like 4 or 5, and then we were down. It was us 3, and then there was one guy, and this dude was a sneaky dude because he zipped our low level dude, and I'm like, no, and I'm like, I'll save you.
And by us 3, he means not
right.
me because
Yeah,
I was dead.
You were dead. It was Archon, me, and the level 2, and I was like, I'll save you. And again, my empathy got us killed because I ran out and I jabbed a stim pack in this dude. Archon went off to flank to the right, but the enemy came to the left and dropped me. And then Archon, I couldn't see it at all, but Archon and him had this big battle, and unfortunately, we got second place that round. But it was still a lot of fun. We did pretty good. Back to the standard Fallout game. We were playing Daily Ops, the first one in, and when we first loaded in Shaline to Daily Ops, we were in the burrows fighting robots, and they.
Right.
What was the thing that they did?
They
had to be
you had to
meleeed.
kill them with a melee.
And
So.
You and I are like Archon had loaded in with our teammate before us, so him and that other guy were kind of off, and so me and Shaline loaded in at the same time, and we're in this room like bang, 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 and dropped one, she'd melee, and bang, 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 she'd drop another one, and I'm like, man, they just keep coming, And Archon's like, hey,
We're
where are you
standing in
guys
this
at?
ring of robot corpses.
And they're piling up, and Archon's like, guys, come on. I'm like, I know, we're trying, we're clearing out the enemies. He's like, they don't stop coming, because I didn't know that either. I'm like, all right. So then I'm running through, and by this time they've crowded the hallways, and we're trying to fight through the hallways. And I was surprised. We actually like made the Elder by like 30 seconds.
We did. We did.
And I got all mad because like when I hit escape to look at the menu, it kicked me out before I could see the rewards. And I didn't. And I'm so used to things appearing on the screen to let you know what you got, and this didn't happen. I'm like, I didn't get anything. I didn't get any currency. I was so mad because I thought I got no rewards, but it turns out I just had an unlucky roll and didn't get any mid or high level rewards.
Yeah.
So I was just grumpy because I got more floater grenades, as you should be. Then we ran it a second time, and we were fighting blood cultists in Vault 94, and they exploded upon death. and that was a
That
lot
was
of
fun. That was
that
so
was a lot
fun.
of
I
fun.
busted out my explosive shotgun during that round.
So boom and then boom, right?
Hmm.
And it was a lot of fun because that one felt more organized. Like we'd go to an uplink and we'd activate it, and we're like, all right, we got to hang out here till it fully is operational. And the four of us would kind of like pick an area and we'd shoot people and drop them, blow them up, and the final boss got killed pretty quick. You
Hmm.
guys hit him, and I think he staggered, and I ran in next to him and like dropped 2 rounds of my explosive shotgun into his face, and he just died. And it was just like yes, because it's all about kill him quickly. And then that one I did get like a nice uniform or something like that. I did get
Yeah, you got one of the rare drops.
I got one of the rare drops. I was very
Yeah.
pleased with that. Um, like I said, I noticed that my lever action was doing better. At least it felt that way. My build, I've got it optimized for VATS and criticals. So I've got gun fu, um, uh, what's the critical shot or something where I can pick which limb, and then whenever I use a critical shot, it doesn't fully drain the bar, and
Hmm.
I'm geared towards that. And as long as I can keep AP coming in, which I'm probably not optimized for max AP or getting AP gain and all that stuff, but um, my lever action does like 300 to 400 damage per shot when in VATS. It's a pretty heavy hitter. The shotgun does okay. I have a 2-shot legendary assault rifle that does explosive damage, and that thing just breaks every 5 seconds. But it's another heavy hitter, and I have yet to try the Furious Handmade out that I got from Shaline, so I'm sure that that'll
Right.
do good as well. And it's been a lot of fun. I used to feel pretty sucky when the three of us would roll around because you guys are melee and you just walk up and touch things with your Deathclaw gauntlets and they drop dead, or your Bare Fist. Your melee builds were stupid powerful, or unarmed builds were crazy powerful, and I always felt like I was just constantly pinging stuff, with my lever action or my 50 caliber or whatever, just like, man, like I can't kill anything in this stupid game. And then I started to optimize my build. Thank you again to Asher, and I was starting to kill stuff. But then when patch 22 came around, that lever action is just ripping things apart, and it's been beautiful ever since. And yeah, that's kind of all I've been doing, just hanging out at my camp. I rebuilt my camp a little bit to save on budget. There was like some big open areas that I like cut down a little bit and changed the stairs around and
It
made
looks
it
great. Your
nicer.
camp is lovely.
I can't wait to get the glass roofs because when I built my little grotto, I wanted the roof open, but I didn't want it like open. But I wanted somehow for light to come down in, so I put the wire mesh floor so that way the light could still come through. And when it rains, the water comes through, and it's just kind of because it only comes through on the grotto, so it feels really cool. But when the glass roof comes in, I'm gonna replace those with the glass roof in there. And so yeah, I really like my camp. I've changed the lighting. It's like more moody now, like dark red and some light, like some dim blue lights and that sort of thing. And I'm trying to think of what else we had done in Fallout. I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff I'm getting. What about you, Shaline? What have you been up to?
Well, let's see here. I wanted to briefly
Oh,
mention that I have completed my holotape game collection.
nice.
So yes, we were. You were there, I
That's right.
think.
Hmm.
We were doing the stings and things repeatable daily, and we were just talking about how the last holotape game I needed was Wasteland. And we heard a magazine go off, and Archon went to check what magazine it was, and he's like, "It's Wasteland." So I freaked out. I was so excited. So guys, what should I collect now? Help me find something to collect. My life is incomplete
Yeah.
without having this secondary goal in Fallout 76. Something that we did together as a trio was a Savage Divide treasure hunt. We went in and cashed in all of our Savage Divide treasure maps. That was a lot of fun.
Uh, I did also want to mention. I forgot completely about the guide stones.
Right.
Right.
Talk about it.
Um. One day I was like, it's strange. I had we on our Discord server. We had this whole chat room dedicated to these guide stones before Wastelanders happened, and since Wastelanders happened, they actually put the guide stones physically in the game. I was like, I haven't even looked at them really since this happened. So I went back to the investigator's cabin. The terminal's still locked. You can't access any more information. That's there. Um, Also, thinking about the guide stones and the Horse Creek petroglyphs, those are actually two different things. The Horse Creek petroglyphs aren't in the game at all. They're just kind of a reference, but they're not the guide stones.
Okay.
And so I was looking at the images that we pulled from the data mine of the guide stones, and I'm looking at all the little squiggly lines and the circles, and I'm looking at this, and I'm going, well, that shape is the same as that shape. And then it happens a third time. And then this shape is the same as that shape. There's a lot of repeating. There's a lot of repeating shapes on these guide stones. And then it hit me. I was like, these are letters. This is writing on this guide stone. I don't know what the heck it's saying, but there's writing on these guide stones. And I'm like, I got to look more into this. So I decided to do some Google Foo and see if there was any more information. And lo and behold, there has been more information on the mysterious guide stones. One is my theory was supported by those are actual letters on the guide stones. There's a font.
Oh, really?
There's a font in the game that you can actually create a font and type in those letters, where A corresponds to a shape and B corresponds to a shape and such and such. There's a terminal somewhere in the game's files where there are messages written in this script that spell out certain things, and that's known in the data mining community as the Rosetta Stone of the mysterious guide stones, because it's the only link we have between what these what because even if you replace the shapes with letters, it doesn't make any sense. It's like A B C A B D. It's not like base 64 or any sort of other like crypto thing. It's just it's very much on the idea of a letter or a symbol means a word. So
Kind of like hieroglyphic.
very much so. So like ABD means like long live something or whatever. So they this Rosetta Stone says, okay, the capital A is this word, and so we'll put that in. It's like a whole Google sheet. If you're on our Discord server and you check out the Mysterious Guide Stones channel, there's a Google sheet you can go to where people are actively working to translate the stone. But it's very difficult because there's a lot of symbols on there that we don't know what it means. There's guesses, but we just don't know. There's also reference to a terminal in the game, and I know where it's at. And we've actually talked about this terminal before of like, what's it do? I don't know. They're somehow linked to the guide stones.
Oh, this is
So
interesting.
there's
The
definitely going to be
plot
some content. Yeah,
thickens.
there's definitely going to be some
Smell your
content coming.
nightmare.
Yeah, yes. There's definitely going to be some, I think, a quest line involved or something. I don't know. But there's so if you're a linguist and you know languages and you can check out this stuff, because if you know how to work with cryptography or something like that, you might be able to figure this out. But yeah, there's some cool stuff happening with the guide stones. Anyway, that is all my gameplay. I promise.
That is super neat. Let's see. I've been working my way through Beckett's quest line, both solo and also with Archon. And I just wanted to talk about a few of the highlights with that. So there's a mission where you have to go after a certain character who's kind of a mini boss. And there's this whole backstory when you explore that location after you've cleared it, where there's this backstory with these two feuding raider chefs. And it's one of my favorite things in the game. It's so hilarious, just finding their notes in the terminals and all of their recipes hidden around, and their catty little notes about each other, and talking about each other's cooking. And you can actually find these two chefs in the location, and I have one of their rolling pins, and I'm going to keep it forever because it made me really happy. I feel like I need to put it on the wall behind my stove. Yeah, I loved that storyline. And there's another quest where you get to rescue someone's pet, and the pet is named Noodles, and Noodles for life. I love Noodles. That was a big surprise to me, and I really, really enjoyed that as well.
When
So
I did
that
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 quest, I
brought
thought
me
you would like it.
joy. That brought me so much joy. And then yesterday, I believe it was, I finished the quest series with Archon, who was very, very patient while I went through many, many lines of dialogue.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah,
dialogue at the end of that.
there really, really is. And both Beckett and his quest line had a lot of personality, and I really, really enjoyed it. Beckett had a great character arc. I was a little bit doubtful of having a former Blood Eagle as an ally. I didn't know how I felt about that. I felt like somebody who's capable of being one of these monstrous people. I'm not sure if that's someone that I want to interact with. You know, I don't know how I feel about this. But as I got to know him through his quest line, his regret and his desire to atone for his actions was voice acted really beautifully. You know, that he really sold it, really sold it. So I love Beckett, and he is now Jim Justice's dreamy boyfriend. And the romance was a cute story too. It was really nice. Beckett was building the relationship with Beckett was he was so awkward and also so earnest, and it was very relatable. So I really enjoyed going through the romance quest line with Beckett as well. So
Didn't you start the romance thing and it got really weird at first?
oh, it was brutally awkward. It was, but it was in a good way, because like
Tension.
you flirt with Beckett and he reacts like thanks, I think. Like, and even the later flirt options, he does this self-deprecating chuckle where he can't believe that you're flirting with him, and he talks about how he's never been in a real relationship before, and he doesn't know how to be in a relationship, and he's scared of messing it up. He's even after you've confessed, you know, like I love you, Beckett, or whatever, he's still very nervous and a little jumpy about the
Mm.
whole situation, and it's very sweet. And the voice acting really sells it. So I like Beckett. Let's see. I got my Mr. Fuzzy suit. I earned 150 Camden Park tokens,
It's a
Mr.
lot of
Fuzzy
work.
tokens. Yes, and I feel really great about that. I was very proud. I have a ton of stuff in this game, right? And it's lovely, but a lot of this stuff was just kind of handed to me by Archon, and that's lovely. I appreciate it. It's lovely. But this is something that I earned completely on my own, and that feels good too. Um, Speaking of Archon, I had mentioned. Okay, so backstory here. Backstory. Are you familiar, Rick, with the Art F76 Twitter account?
No.
This is run by Pantagruelia and Appalachia Howie,
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with
and
Pantagruelia.
yeah, we love Pantagruelia,
You gotta remember, I'm not on
and
Twitter, so I'm not hip with all the stuff.
they run this Twitter account called Art F76. I highly recommend you all follow it. And every few months, they put out a challenge into the world and give you a hashtag. And you use photo mode in Fallout 76 to comply with the challenge. They did one for album covers, and they
Oh,
did
yeah, I
one for
remember that.
silhouettes, stuff like that. The current one is F76 Masterpiece, which is to recreate artworks like paintings. And I had decided I went through some of my favorite painters, and I decided to go with a couple of um, surreal photo paintings by Rene Magritte. And one of them is a two painting series called The Lovers, and I wanted to do that one, and I wanted to do one of the Son of Man recreations as well. So the Lovers pictures a man and a woman who have their face covered by a white cloth, and in one they're standing next to each other, in the other they're kissing, uh, with the white cloth over their heads. And I thought we could use sack hoods. It would be great. We can recreate this. It's going to be fantastic. So Archon pops on. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to play some Fallout." And I tell him, "Well, if you find a couple of sack hoods, you know, hang on to them because I have a project, and you're going to need a suit too." He's like, well, I'm wearing a suit. That's fantastic. And he spent the rest of the day looking for sack hoods. And I felt a little guilty about that. This poor man sacrificed his entire day looking for sack hoods. And later on, I actually found the sack hoods at our random event spawn at WJLG Lake. It was the one where the settlers are tied to the
Hmm.
explosive device. So I was able to get the sack hoods, and then we did a photo shoot and created the masterpieces and posted them on Twitter, and that was so much fun. I really loved it. Archon built us sets, and um, it turned out really well. I was so pleased with how they turned out,
I thought
and
they
I
looked really
really
good.
enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, they looked
Really,
really
really
good.
enjoyed doing that. It was a ton of fun. Um, let's see. And also, we took on Earl again with the Colossal Problem event. So, this was the day that you were not playing with us. Archon and I were on, and we saw that BitTrash was on, and he had started a public team. So, we joined BitTrash's team, and we did the daily op. Or, no, we didn't do a daily op. We somebody nuked the mine, and I was like, hey, Archon, can we go to the mine? Can we go fight Earl? I want to fight Earl. And he's like, are you sure about this? Like, it didn't go so well last time. And I'm like, yes, I really want to fight Earl. So we went to fight Earl. And I took my light machine gun that I got from Mermermerg. It's a
Yeah.
really good one. It's a really good legendary light machine gun. I was so excited to play with it. And it went so much better this time, Rick. Like, it was the two of us and one random. The random was somewhere around level 300, and BitTrash came in towards the end, I believe. I don't think he was there the whole time. But we fought this guy and we took him down. I didn't die a single time. And you'll remember last time I was
Yeah.
just I was falling like leaves.
You beat him?
It was bad, but we beat him.
Oh,
We
that's
beat him.
awesome.
It was so exciting.
Man,
I was
I haven't
so
even done that
happy.
yet.
We beat him. And there were so many of those Wendigo spawns, and they were all chasing me, and I was just kind of running around, and it was fantastic. And then you have to escape the mine after you kill him, and
Oh,
I
I didn't
kept
know
getting
that.
lost. And I was running trying to escape the mine, and Archon's behind me like, go to the left. No, you need to go up. I swear, I don't know why you guys play with me. I'm like a real life escort mission. Like, you gotta keep Shaline alive.
No, you don't understand it. We've been trained all of our lives for this exact moment. We would have a friend who was basically just an NPC.
And
But
I totally am.
so we've been training for this mission all our lives, so we're fine. We're used to it by now.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you guys let me tag along because I have a great time. And I've really enjoyed hanging out. I've enjoyed patch 22, and I had a lot of fun this week. So that was my gameplay.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to dig into it again tonight and get more of that armor ace
Yes,
stuff.
me too.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. But all right, we have an email. Wait, is this one? Yeah, this is one.
This is 2 emails.
Oh, it's 2 emails.
Yeah, see the dots?
Who's the first one
Each
by?
dot is a different email. The first one is by Imagine Angel.
Oh, I see it. Okay, all right, sorry. All right, Imagine Angel. And they write, what would you guys say about a Fallout 76 Pip-Boy app like Fallout 4 had? At the very least, I think it would be awesome to have a perk card app where you can change the cards on the fly without having to go into the in-game Pip-Boy menu. I think it'll be awesome. Would be an awesome way to save your perk card loadouts for an even more efficient way of switching out the cards and loadout. Your thoughts?
I love the idea.
I don't know if anyone ever used the Fallout 4 app very much. Did you actually use it?
All the time. Really often. Mm-hmm.
I never used it. I've got a feeling that the perk card loadouts are going to be hotkeyed to something.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll just smack a key and it'll kind of already do that. But I mean, sure. I don't know if they make an API for an app to be created or if they would do it themselves. But I think they're probably going to stick with an in-game interface on this one.
I would really like to see something that lets us work on inventory management issues and perk card loadouts when we're not in game in a similar way to the Destiny app.
Yep.
um,
Or the Guild
that
Wars app
lets you
does that
manage
too.
your stash and stuff. So
Although
I would love to see that.
I feel like with all the exploits that Bethesda has, they would probably be like, no, because they
Yeah,
would.
yeah. I
And
do understand them being reluctant to open up an additional way for people to cheat.
and a lot of times, well, like even the Destiny one and the Guild Wars one are done because they release the APIs. Um, maybe when mods happen, maybe um, you might see something like that. Because yeah, the Destiny and the Guild Wars apps are actually like fan built. I'm fairly certain. I don't think they're official, but it is very nice to like because I've seen Sarah do it. She's like in game and then she looks over at her little management screen and clicks and moves stuff around and it changes her in-game
Yeah.
setup. So yeah.
I used the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy app a lot on my iPad. And
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
yeah, I would set up my iPad in the corner and use that for stim packs and all kinds of things. And sometimes I would use it to play the holotape games, even when I wasn't logged in. Like I would just sit and play holotape games on my iPad. And
Nice.
I'm way more likely to play them like they're a mobile game than I am to play them,
Mm-hmm.
on when I boot up the PC or the console. I don't want to play Nuka Tapper. I want to play Fallout.
Uh-huh.
But if I'm like on the couch vegging out, little Nuka Tapper might be nice.
Yeah, I can guarantee you as far as an app or a web app or anything like that, it won't happen at least until mods are available, and even then I'm
Mhm.
doubtful. But it would be cool,
I'd love it.
especially with inventory management. All right, our next email comes from Chris. Just thought I would send you a mail as I'm currently sat by a pool in 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know if that's hot or cold.
That's hot.
Oh, okay. Uh, I am from that beautiful country of Yorkshire in the UK, but I'm on holiday in Turkey now. We can travel some places. Huh. It is so interesting to like Europeans just are like, I'm gonna go to Turkey or something like that. For us like USians, it's kind of a distance. But I guess it's like going to Mexico or something. But anyway, um, Turkey, I bet it'd be a cool place to go to. I've listened to your podcasts from that old show that shall not be named days. So I've just binged 10 episodes of each show as I fell behind due to working in the agriculture industry and my wife being in the care sector. The last few months have been tough for us, you but you three can make me smile when I have time to listen and give me some ideas on what to do next in the fallouts as I play. My lovely wife watches and points out where I go wrong. Thanks for the podcast and the laughs. Keep safe and keep up the podcast. It's one of my favorites. And Vendertron, well done on the charity streams. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, that
Um,
was a lovely email.
yeah.
I'm so glad you're enjoying the shows.
Yeah, and we'll keep cranking them out as much as we can, and enjoy your holiday if you're still on it, and take a dip at the pool to cool off. So
Indeed,
anyway,
lovely. Thank you for writing in, Chris.
all right. Is there anything else that you wanted to chat about? I think we pretty much covered all of our bases.
I think we have covered all the bases as well. Are we doing Survival Horror Sunday this
We
weekend?
are doing Survival Horror Sunday. The time. What are you free when?
Probably 4 o'clock my time again. That's what,
Okay.
6 for you?
Yep, that's perfect.
That seems to have been working well for us over the
Awesome.
last few weeks, so let's stick with that.
So stay tuned for this Sunday. Left 4 Dead episode 5. I can't remember which one we're doing, but we're going in order. So we're gonna be playing Left 4 Dead 2 this
And if you want to
Sunday.
see the past ones, they're available as Twitch archives and also on our YouTube channel. I have them all in a little playlist on YouTube, so you can just watch them all.
All right, and until then, you can tweet at the show on Twitter at That Fallout Show. You can tweet at the network at We Just Love Games. You can tweet at Shaline L and Vendertron at VendertronIn. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/That Fallout Show or groups/That Fallout Show. And the network is also on Facebook at facebook.com/We Just Love Games. Also groups/We Just Love Games. You can email us like our two lovely emails that we got tonight at info@wejustlovegames.com. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/We Just Love Games, where you can find all of our past streams thrown up there as well. And again, like Shaline said, the Survival Horror Sunday, so the Survival Horror Sunday playlist. You can find our show on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. Please leave us a review if you would like. If it's 5 stars and includes some texts, we will shout you out at the beginning of the show, like we did our lovely 5-star reviewers today. You can find our show on iTunes and Stitcher Radio or wherever you find your podcasts. If you're catching us live on Twitch or somewhere else and we're not on your favorite podcast aggregate, let us know. We'll try to get on it. Yeah, we record live every other Friday, 6:30 Mountain, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard here at twitch.tv/. We Just Love Games. And you can check out our other show, Game Stack, which is every other Friday from when we
The
do
alternating
the
ones.
alternating Fridays. So next Friday will be Game Stack. We also do Twitch streams when we can, like Sundays. And thank you so much for listening, Shaline. What is our last word?
Mucking is hard work, but this here lucky mucker ain't.